Very, very happy to have you on here, man. So Erad and I met how many months ago do you think
I'll
we
say
met?
it in French.
I won't be able to understand anything you're saying.
Professionnalisme.
Oh, ooh, you just brought up the class level by like 5 notches. 5 whole notches that just went up when you spoke French, dude. So how many months I can't even remember. You initially watched me before you even made content, right? Is that true?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I actually watched your Elite Dangerous videos.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, because like I remember talking to you before you even made the content. I think you had a couple vids out, but like you weren't like you're crazy pumping out content right now. I'm so like I feel like okay, this sounds a little strange, but I feel like a kind of a father figure to you, dude. Like I see the work that you're doing on your channel, and I see like all the videos you're putting out. I'm like, that's my boy. That's my boy. Putting out all that content, and it's
well,
good
actually,
shit, dude.
well, to be frank, I was actually watching your videos a lot, and you know there was this incident with your mom. You know, we're not going to talk about that. Of course, we all remember what happened, and it was really sad. And then your content stopped, and I was like, man, I really liked what he was doing. And I was like, you know, someone's gonna. I had a feeling I gotta take the torch, and I gotta keep on going. And I was like, I'm gonna talk to this guy so that he can continue making content. We're behind him, so that you know we can encourage this guy DJ to keep on making content. We'll support him as much as possible,
That's
and
true
hopefully he'll
family
be
love.
back doing what he does. And I'm so glad that this is what happened.
Thank you, dude. Like that's so like you guys got me through such a hard period of time. Like really. I don't know for people that are watching the stream that don't know, but my mom had some serious health issues from like I think January through April, like even into May. And my content literally stopped, and I was just starting to really pick up steam like right into December, right into the end of the year. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then I had to put the brakes on, obviously, because I was at the hospital 12 hours a day. I was putting out like every once in a while I put out a little vlog about like how, you know, mom was doing and everything. And it was because of you, Erad, and a lot of other members in the community that you really, I don't think people understand, but like to me as a content creator, sometimes like I spend a lot of time with you guys to the point where I think about you guys a lot. Like I don't know if you do the same. I'm pretty sure you probably do the same, but like if you're walking around and you could be anywhere. You could be like a grocery store. You're thinking about the content and you're thinking about people. You're thinking about the people that watch your content, and you start to get to know the people that comment on your stuff, and you start to understand their real life. And that's what was happening during that period of time. People were really reaching out and being super nice. And it was just really nice. And you were one of the many that reached out, and you guys really kept me sane. Like you guys really, really kept me sane. So thank you very much. You and many others out there, dude. Thank you so much for that. It means a lot. There might be a delay.
That's the least we could do.
Good. Well, I'm telling you, I again.
No, there's a little lag. There's a little lag. So that's why. That's why when I speak,
Are you listening to the stream?
I'm quite far away. I'm in Taiwan. You're in America.
Oh, okay. So. Okay. All right. So we're adjusting for like the latency between two countries. That's okay, dude. We'll be like walkie talkies, and I'll be like over.
Yeah. There's probably 200 milliseconds.
Over.
Yeah, the lag. The lag's pretty bad.
Technical difficulties. It wouldn't be my channel if it wasn't some type of technical difficulty involved, man. So tell me about like how you started Star Citizen. Over.
Wow, Star Citizen. No, let's not go with these like that's okay. We'll deal with it. So I started Star Citizen. Well, that was back in 2012. Actually, I think I watched some kind of video on the French video game website, and I was like, oh wow, from the creator of Freelancer and Wingman Commander. So I thought this is awesome. I'm gonna check it out. And back in the days, there were already the Kickstarter campaign, and I popped in just. I think that was just after the Kickstarter campaign was finished, but there was still the campaign on their website going on. So that's when I picked up a Constellation. I think that's what I had originally. So yeah, back in 2012. And
Wow.
I kept backing the project. I was really excited. As soon as I had a little bit of money, I kept backing more and more and more and more, kept buying more ships. usually one or two per year. And I just I really like the original Arena Commander. I like the realism, the graphics. The lore is pretty awesome as well. And yeah, I understand that this is a project that's going to take a very long time to make. I don't see it as an actual game, but more like a passion project or a masterpiece. I know this is gonna. Oh, Irad is actually a white knight. Irad is so fired up. Yeah, okay. I'm not really. I'm trying to take it in the ways. There's a reason why. For example, there's a reason why editors are never going to fund a game like that, because it is going to really require a lot of funds. It is not something that is going to be easy to make profits of, and that's what we're making. We're making the dream game that gamers have passion for, especially for those who like space games. And I'm really into space games. Love space games. I've been playing space games since I was a little kid. Started with X-wing versus TIE Fighter back in the days.
Love it.
Continue with X-wing
Mm-hmm.
Alliance, Freelancer, Star Lancer.
Mm.
So to me, backing Star Citizen was just the continuation of that passion.
Yes, like Wing Commander, old school games from the 90s I used to play was my start in terms of like space sims, especially TIE Fighter. That was one of those games that doesn't get a lot of love. I mean, it gets a lot of
Oh
people
man.
like it is a little bit underrated. Like in certain circles, like TIE Fighter's propped up like one of the better space sims of all time, but like it's a very small kind of clique that understands like how amazing that game was. That was such a great game. The ability to switch your shields as if you were, like front and back. I still remember all that. Like that was one of the first examples of like the engineering of a ship, like where you could actually switch shields, and I was fascinated by that, man. I was just
especially you were playing the bad guys.
Oh, I know, man. It was so wonderful. It was so different. But the gameplay was really just very tight, and I didn't get that. That's about the time I started to switch from console to PC. Like I think 92 ish. My dad was a huge PC enthusiast.
1994.
Yeah, well, that game, but like I remember I was switching over even earlier than that because my dad owned an Apple II. What was it, an Apple II?
Oh yeah, that was X-wing in '92.
But even going back further into the 80s, my dad owned this Apple IIe, and he played this game called Wizardry, right? It's a big computer PC geek. I loved him. And Wizardry was very much D&D, kind of like a D&D oriented game. And you would go around. It was like a 3D maze, green on green screen. And I always wanted to play the game. And he had this computer set up in the basement, right? And I'd be like, Dad, please let me play the game, right? And the only thing he would let me do is he would let me draw. He had this large a drafting table and a large the paper with the squares all over it. And I would I would take a pencil. He'd be like, 1 square north, son. 1 square north. So I'm like, the only way I could play the game was to draw the fucking map. I was like the level guy. And if I screwed it up, oh boy, he was upset.
So you're like the assistant.
Yes. I was. And that's how I got to play the game. I'm like, Dad, come on, please. Like, let me play the game. You are playing the game, son. Like, it was horrible. But that was my first initial kind of experiences with games, and then I switched to the NES, console, and then I was in consoles for a while, and then it was like you're saying, like TIE Fighter, these types of games, Doom, and then I started to realize even back then that like the PC games were superior in my opinion towards compared to consoles, and I really started just getting hooked on PC gaming.
Yeah, well, back in the days already, console games were already much more casual than PC games.
Yes. Yeah. There was a network called 10, and you paid a subscription fee. And it was my first experience with like online experiences. You would dial up and you get the, and you'd like dial into the internet and you would get on this 10 network, and they had games like
those modems.
Yeah, and what was it? Duke Nukem they had, and all these, online games that you could play with other people, and I was like fascinated, and I just got hooked at that particular time because it's playing with other people that got me like really hooked into PC gaming. The ability to play, because consoles didn't have that at the time, and playing with other people, I was fascinated with that. I was like, wow,
I remember that. it was tough back in these days. For me, it was really tough because I actually didn't speak English at all back in these days. So I was playing against other people, but I didn't understand anything what
Oh
people were
man.
saying.
Well, that's fantastic because your English is amazing, dude. You got great English now, but that would be frustrating. That would
Well,
be
thanks.
frustrating.
Well, it's actually an advantage because when people insult you because you suck, then you don't understand.
Yeah, on the bright side, you couldn't figure out if people were trying to troll you or trigger you or not, so you wouldn't have to worry about any of the negative comments, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all positive.
That's fun, dude. I'm so happy that you and I have met, and I really love the content you're putting out in regards to Star Citizen and the other content as well. My biggest thing right now is like, I know lately you've been on like this Star Citizen kick, dude. Is like, what do you feel like when you post other content as a content creator? Like, what's your vibe on like posting content that isn't SC right now?
Well, the thing is, I need to play games that aren't SC. That's the thing is, I don't play these games too much. Well, I'm playing, for example, right now I'm playing Project Cars 2,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not really content friendly, right? And there are tons
Right.
of people who are already, professional racer. I don't even have a wheel, so people are not going to be interested at all.
Right.
And I also want to enjoy some games without thinking, I want to enjoy these games and just playing them and not making content too at the same time. I know it sounds a little bit selfish, but I enjoy that too.
I
So other games are not Star Citizen. I think that it's more like private time.
mm-hmm. When you like
Sometimes
chill out.
I would make content for Kingdom Come Deliverance because people want to have guides, for example, and I find something interesting. So Kingdom Come Deliverance is a bit similar to Star Citizen in the sense that it's role play, exploration, action. So I would do that. I do plan to make content for Age of Empires 2 because I'm really passionate about that. It's one of my favorite games all the time. It's gonna be the definitive edition coming up in November. But maybe there's gonna be also the new Star Wars game. I forgot the title already, but maybe I'll make a playthrough if I'm bored with Star Citizen. Like there's no content or it's too broken. Maybe I'll
Are
do
you
that.
talking about Rebel
But
Galaxy?
yeah, it's mostly Star Citizen because that. No. I'm talking about Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, okay. I've heard mixed reviews on Jedi Fallen Order. Both, primarily I've heard more bad than I've heard good.
I don't know, but we'll see if it sucks or not. If
Right.
it sucks, then I'll be saying it, and if it's okay, I'll
exactly.
Be
That's why you and I get along, dude. We just speak our mind. I love it, dude. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about people's reaction to what I say. that's number one thing. To be a good content creator, you just got to say how you feel and not worry about like reactions, dude. Yeah. I've recently started this game called Dual Universe, and while the graphics aren't the best, I'm quite interested in it. Although props to shout out to Mosquito, by the way, for buying the title for me. But it's in its alpha form. There's a lot of potential there, but they have this crazy NDA that won't let me post content. It's driving me up the wall because I really want to introduce it to my audience. And it doesn't make sense to me when publishers do this because it's so. Go ahead, dude.
You need to start a Dual Universe Leaks channel on Discord.
It'd probably do wonderful, actually. I just get upset with publishers when they're cutting off their nose to spite their face because if people were able to create the content, it would be more promotion for the game. So when people do that, it doesn't I just look at the publisher and I'm like, really, what is wrong? What is wrong with it? Just seems like it's a terrible way in which to run a business. But hey, whatever, maybe in their mind, they're thinking, oh, if we don't let people release content on this, then it's going to make people want it more. But I think that's counterintuitive.
Anyway, DG, I gotta go now. Well, I think I'll be back
okay,
later,
dude.
But,
thanks for joining us on the stream, dude.
Thank you so much for the chat.
All right. Hey, I had a good time, dude. And maybe we'll get together again. PM. And you know what? I want to do a podcast, and you and I are going to talk a little bit more. Hopefully we can clear up the latency issues. But thank you and have a good night, bro. Thank you so much for being on, nice.
Man. Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay. All right, dude. See you later. All right. That was Erad. That was really nice. That was really nice. I had a really good time. This is a fun stream today, guys. You guys have